time, man. Only it seems to me like I'm blown away about how many podcasters and influencers out there that just don't see the forest through the trees. I mean, we are a niche group of you, me, a few other ones, right? Scott, Josh, a few other people out there. But it's like we're the tip of the spear in this. And I've got to say we've been over the target. We've missed some dates here and there, but there's no way to be 100% all the time. But I would say we're batting at least 85, 90%. And I still can't believe that others cannot see this. And the garbage, the corn they're selling to the masses is pretty sad. And that's why we're in this fucking position in the first place.
Yeah. And, we, like you said, in this show and other shows, we knew this was coming. This time was coming, where a lot of these people that have been podcasters for a long time, I think some of them have infiltrated, gained trust, and now they're basically, just trying to destroy MAGA, President Trump, and so forth. It's not working. People are just turning away from them and finding who's got the right information, who's putting out the truth, and that's what we've been doing all along. So it's great to see people waking up to it. What's going on in the world? I mean, I'm looking at Iran, and I'm like, hello, what you're making deals with terrorists? I don't think so. I did a show yesterday where I talked about the confusion principle, where you're working out, you confuse your muscles, you do something different. So President Trump is always doing that constantly. He is, he's a comedian to me. I love him. I know he's throwing curveballs out there, a million miles an hour, and they can't even come close to hitting it. But we have to be aware that there's other things that are going on, like Cuba. So he's probably okay. We'll let the world see just how bad Iran is. If they haven't seen it yet, they're going to see it. I'm going to get as many ships out of that, Suez or Strait of Hormuz as I can. In the meantime, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to handle Cuba, because I said I was going to handle Cuba after I got done with Iran. So here we are. Iran's back burner. Now we're on Cuba. We'll handle that, and then we'll go back to Iran. That's probably the way it's going to work. But I'm just an outsider looking in. From my experience, having been in the combat realm for a long time, and in the intelligence realm, CIA side, I know these things, have to work their way out. So I think that's what we're looking at right now. What's going to happen with the Tulsi Gabbard? I don't know, man, because George Webb said that she was fired like almost a month ago. I'm like, what? And so there was like crickets, and now she's resigned. I'm like, okay, it took a while for that to go through.
Wow. So hold on, wait a second there. So you're saying, because I kind of heard whispers on that too, but I didn't capitalize on that. So what you're saying is she could have been fired.
Yeah.
And now they're letting her have the saving grace of saying, I'm going to resign, to save face, basically.
Yeah. George Webb, just mapped it all out, said she was involved in some stuff, and she wasn't informing President Trump. And so he probably knew about it all along. It's like, how he is. He lets people do the right thing. And if you fail, then you're gone. And I think she's gone. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, you would want to leave and be with your, loved one in their final days. But I mean, I've been in that position my whole career. People, my family died, and I was like, well, I still have to go on in life. And
I'm dealing with that right now, and I do podcasts every day. I mean, I don't know what's going to be like when I lose my dad and mom, but like right now, I'm still pushing shows, and I have to stay busy. I got to keep my mind distracted.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense to me that she's leaving. She's in one of the most, very consequential positions in the world, not just in the United States, but in the world, with all the intel agencies and so forth. So for her just walk away, I'm going to be with my husband. It sounds to me like, what George Webb said. She was basically fired quite a while ago.
Wow.
Around the same time frame as Bondi. So it makes sense that they want to
Trump would have known this, right? Trump knows who he can trust and who he can't. He gives them a chance first, though.
Yeah. And we look at her background and, some of the stuff she's done over time. She's been against him on a lot of different things. And then she kind of would get centered. But there's been a lot of that. And I know you've had conversations with her, and she's not quite on board with some stuff.
No, I was, when I was with her in Austin for the Joe Rogan show, and my buddy BJ Penn was on the show, I remember talking to her. We were in the same vehicle driving in the SUV, and I remember she was like, we were talking about Obama, and I was just throwing things at her a little bit, testing her a little bit, like, what do you think? I mean, about his sexuality, this and that. She goes, I don't see it as a big deal. Like, who cares who he's sleeping with? Who cares if Michelle's or not? And I was like, wow. I think that's a pretty big lie. Yeah, I mean, to play that on the American public, and that's what's in the White House, I think you just think that's no big deal. Like, to me, that was a very big, alarming red flag to me. I was like, so I just kind of laid back and I sat back and I thought, man, she's real liberal, dude. She's like really, really liberal.
Yeah, that's too far out there. So yeah, Michelle is a man, and their kids are not theirs. And come on, that's good.
That's a huge lie to put on the American people, bro. Like that's not something you just brush under the carpet and go, well, that's just what he likes. But no, it's a huge facade. Right. And so I thought that was kind of weird and alarming, but she was still very personable and likable and laughing and chuckling all the time. She was cool, but I liked her. I thought
I've seen President Clinton. He's like super magnetic, magnetic personality. He's charming to everybody, and you're like, man, this guy is like cool, and I know he's not. So, but you get bamboozled by some of these people, like we talked about in the beginning with a lot of the truthers that aren't truthers anymore, and they're against us and trying to destroy us.
You see these personalities now. Like I saw Nick Fuentes coming a mile away. I kind of didn't have it on my bingo card with candidates to be having Hunter on. I mean, dude, when you have people like that on, as a podcaster, especially that magnitude, they're going to have their PR team reach out to you and tell you exactly what they want you to talk about. And if you're going to shine him in it, he's not going to just go on any podcast to be ambushed. He's going to go on and they're going to make sure that you're throwing softballs, maybe a little edgy here and there. But the guy they were trying to make him out as a guy that, look, I've changed. Everything's good now. Yeah, I was a crackhead. But they're not talking about Burisma. They're not talking about what was on the contents of his 3 laptops, not 1, 3, allegedly. But, like no hardball questions, just like it was pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's, we've seen a lot of other people that have, been, pushing that envelope, and they push it too far. So that's very suspect to me. And, you've talked about it. I've talked about it. I'm not going to have somebody like that on my show. That I lose all credibility. But
they don't care. They don't see. That's the thing. It's all about likes.
Find out. They're going to lose their audience. And I think that's where it's going for them. I don't watch them anymore. Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones,
Alex Jones, another one. I mean, gosh, he's not on his ass lately, huh?
I mean, all of them. I love those guys. They gained our trust, and I was like, wow, they're really revealing. Alex Jones for years and years and years, and there was like that suspect stuff that was starting to creep in, but then he went full President Trump. I'm like, you're done, Alex. You're obviously you're a controlled puppet. So I'm out.
So you believe, like I do, and especially you be part of the CIA and everything, like that. They're activated. They're activated for such a time as now. They're allowed to be who they are for a while until the time is right, and then they make the switcheroo, right?
Yeah, somebody's been handling them, obviously. I've been part of that organization. I was there for like 11 years. I saw how this is done at the very top. And their Mockingbird Media is a very strong arm. They have people that are very dedicated to that all over the world. So they have, not just Alex Jones here in the United States. They have people in every single country, many people, and people are controlling them. Not completely. They let them do their own thing. That's how they get their audience. Then eventually it's okay, creep this in. And then something gets in there. And so the audience is like, what? Is that the way things are going? Trump is bad now? It's like, no, he's not. So you have a lot of those influencers now are trying to destroy his credibility. And that's what they do. Whoever they are, whoever's controlling who is probably the CIA, bad side. Because I've worked in the CIA, I've worked with the good side. Everybody's like, oh, Jaco, CIA, once CIA, always CIA. That's stupid. It's like, you're a credible upscale boxer in your time. and we can look at the boxers. Probably some have thrown fights, you know.
And they're not all that way.
Does that? And it's like, oh, Nino, he probably threw a bunch of fights, and I don't think that at all. And you're one of the most incredible people I've ever met.
Thanks, Mike.
I look at someone and I see them on a soul level, and your soul is strong. So
thanks, man.
God is strong. You know, I look at people and I'm like, okay, maybe they're a little bit off, you know, in some areas. It's like, you know, all of us are. But there's some people I look at not
That's what keeps me
a lot of it off, but
that's what keeps me sane. There have to be a little bit off. So
this shit, you got to be
you got to be, dude. That's the way you survive. I mean, it's a wacky, crazy circus world out there, right? I can't even believe what we're seeing right now. It's a Twilight Zone. But you know, so as we're coming into there's threats that need to be neutralized. I know you and I agree on this. And then, you know, you have all these podcasters out there saying like, oh no, he promised no new wars. Here we are, more wars. But the truth is, you have to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty to neutralize these globalist threats that they were going to use against us. Iran being one of them, Cuba being one, Venezuela being another. You have to get in there and take these or eliminate these threats, correct?
Yeah. And, you know, having been part of these wars, you know, for most of my life, I can tell you the wars that were deep state, all of them. All right. And the ones that Trump is, you know, pressing, I don't really see them as wars, conflicts, small conflicts that we're crushing it. You know, he did that in his first term. I was screaming, why don't we take out al-Baghdadi? Before Trump came in, I was like, you know, this guy is obviously a problem in this whole area of Iran and Iraq and, you know, Syria, everywhere. And so the CIA was like, everybody's like, I don't know. And then it comes in, it's like wham. It's like, okay, we got a player. We got a player finally. I knew he was going to be a player. I saw it when he first came down. I've watched Trump for, you know, decades. I've read his books and followed him for a long time. I was like, this guy is amazing. Then when he came down the escalator and said he was running, I was like, he's going to make it. He's going to make it. Because I knew that there was a good guy side, because I was always part of that side, and they were backing him, and they were gonna push him forward. They've been protecting him.
Hold on there. That's important. So that would be the Trump operation that people say is a conspiracy.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, he's not part of their organization. Of course, that's why they continually try to assassinate him. Assassinations or, you know, things they have been very skilled at, you know, around the world. So their assassination teams and all that kind of stuff, they haven't been effective with President Trump. And why? Because he has insiders that have been watching this for a long time and know their programs, know who's involved, and know how to like tap into their plans and then stop them out. So that's been going on for I think a long time in the background, and they just needed someone that they could put out front that would work with them. And
here's what's scary about that, man, and I've said this many times. His family, dude, because they you know, Anna Paulina, and actually I have it right here. Anna Paulina Luna on X says, we've just learned of the horrifying plot to assassinate Ivanka Trump.
Yeah,
a devoted wife, daughter, and mother, and someone with no personal quarrel with the Iranian regime. She was targeted to bring pain. To her father and to her husband. There's nothing more sick and demented than that. I mean, this is war, though. All is fair in love and war, right, Mike?
Yeah, and you know, when I saw that and that was released, I think they've known that for a while. When that was released, and then he's like, I'm not going to do my son's wedding, so I'm going to go back. I got to go back to the White House because important. And he said important twice in the little you know, blurb he put out there. And I was like, okay, this is it. We're going to like kick some ass finally. It's like, and then he comes in, oh, we're doing a peace. And I'm like, oh,
hold on. Why do you think he's taking so long? What's your thoughts on that, Mike? Like, why do you think he's dragging his feet? I'll say dragging his feet. And I have a theory. Let me just explain.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's giving them this chance, that chance, this chance? Do you think just for his own conscience, where he's like, all right, if I have to fucking nuke him, it's like I gave him so many chances. But I also think maybe could he be also neutralizing threats on our homeland, like taking out more terror cells, making sure the homeland's clean from the threats here on our soil? You know, is that why he's kind of taking his time a little bit, or what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so you know, we're close to those arrests, and so it could be that's why he had to come back and plan. Who knows? I think, you know, I never doubt President Trump. You know, I used to, and then I would get proven wrong. So, but you know, you ask those questions, so I'm like, okay, there's something bigger here. I'm just, you know, wait for it, wait, kind of like Mel Gibson, and and then they pull up the last minute, they unhorse the the charging cavalry, and what was that?
Right, you're right. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, so it's like that right now. So wait, and then they don't know what's coming, and then bam,
boom, right. You want to see the whites in their eyes, right?
Just white in their eyes, and on and on and on. So I'm a master at those things. Working behind the scenes and setting up ambushes and so forth. So it's a constant ambush game against them, and of course they're doing the same to us. So it could be that something big was going to happen here in the United States if we went forward. So he's just pulling back and cleaning that up. Taking care of Cuba, I think, is going to be fairly easy. And then from that point, oh yeah, there it is. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a great movie, man. One of the best ever. Yeah. So it said here that the IRGC trained terrorists had a friggin' blueprint of Ivanka Trump's $24 million mansion in Florida. So Mohammed al-Saeed, a 32-year-old Iraqi national linked to Hezbollah, didn't just threaten her in the abstract. He posted a map of her enclave online. Why do these people post online? Why would you telegraph anything you're going to do? That's like the dumbest shit. You know what I mean? I don't understand that, but he posted it online in an Arabic message that said, neither your palaces nor your Secret Service will protect you. I mean, but it's wild that he had the blueprint of her home. I guess, I don't know, I guess that is a public record or what?
That's, somebody flew a drone over, who knows, but, it's a mind game. It's back and forth. So they put that out, and so they have these threats, and we have, of course, our threats. Like President Trump said, well, we were going to strike. This was a week ago. We were going to hammer them, and our allies said, no, wait, let's try and do a peace deal. So we're going to try and do a peace deal. So here we are with a peace deal. Now, why? Was there something that was going to happen? There some kind of new thing, or they just need to put more people, because they're not pulling anybody away. They're keeping everybody there. So they've been just surging troops into that area. Not a lot of people know that, but they've been surging massive numbers of troops into that area. Of course,
into Iran.
Where? To get ready to go into Iran.
Okay.
President Trump and CIC, Commander in Chief has been.
So is it the most important thing right now to destabilize that country and make it look like they take it over themselves? Is that what we're trying to do? Like, give them the little nudge or the push, so where they revolt and take Iran back themselves, so it looks like the people are doing it?
There's no way that's going to happen. You have 47 years of them, worming in and controlling. They got all this army, the IRGC. They have it locked down. They killed like over 40,000 people just recently that were demonstrating. It's extreme. I've been there. I've seen these animals for pretty much almost half my life, and they're not going to go away. They're not going to play. They'll play like, okay, yeah, we'll do the right thing, and then maybe midterm if the bad guys get in power again. So this threat, Iran, needs to be eliminated. We need to take care of this way before midterms. I would imagine sometime this summer. And then Tulsi's obviously. What's your thoughts on Tulsi? Do you think that her leaving by the end of June? Obviously, Juan O'Savin has said that she's not going out with a whimper. She's going to just unleash hell, and I guess she's going to have no choice, right? She's going to have to just disclose everything that they learned about
Russiagate 2020, the whole thing, right? That's all probably going to come out in June as she leaves, right?
And that's an interesting take right there from Juan, because maybe she had to go away so they could release all that. He was holding it back, just like
she was holding it back. So what you're saying is maybe not in June, but July it gets released.
Yeah, maybe June, July. It doesn't matter.
Well, see, that's crazy because Juan, you think one way about her, but Juan thinks the world of her. I talked to her about him. I talked about her to him yesterday, and he's like, no, Nino, listen. I'm like, fuck. I kind of feel the same way you do.
Yeah. Well, he's got a lot more insight than we do. So I'm just observant. I'm not saying this is absolute. I like George Webb stuff. I've had misgivings about her when you told me long ago about, some of the things she talked about. And I was like, yeah, she's probably corrupted if she's not going to talk about these things. So, that's one of the things we all look at. That's as truthers, we have a lot of information coming in. We weigh, what we see and what we hear. We're not directly behind the scenes. Even, when I was behind the scenes, when I worked for the CIA, when I was at SEAL Team 6, taking down, terrorist groups and, going to combat and so forth, I still didn't know the full picture until later. So all we can do is just, as a group, look at things from our point of view, put them all together. That's why I love, you're doing your shows, I'm doing my shows, and Scott and all the other guys. You got some incredible guys on Ghost in the background, talking in your back channel. So all of this basically gives us little pieces of the puzzle, and we share, what we can. I know a lot of other things that I see going on, but they're not positive yet. So like Tulsi Gabbard, I can't say definitively, yeah, she's a baddie. All I know is from stuff I've seen. When I look at her, I'm like, from an intuitive point of view, But that doesn't mean that she's not doing good stuff. Because a lot of people that we see that are bad still do good stuff. Tucker Carlson. I saw him for a long time going, I'm suspect of this guy, but he was doing great shows, and I'm like, okay, he's doing good shows. That's cool. And but now he's gone over the edge.
Right, and I don't think this is going to end well for any of them doing this, because you can't. They're on the wrong side of history, dude. All of them. I mean, they're not understanding where this is going, and I firmly believe, and I'm sure you do too, that we had to use Israel to take out the Iranian threat, right? And everyone's saying that Trump is the puppet of Israel, but really, Trump, you have to play ball with some of these bad guys, and I think that's what he did with Israel. That's why we're using Israel to take down Iran, and I still believe they will be saved for last, don't you?
Oh yeah, and when their purpose that we have, they've been using us for a long time. All those other presidents that were puppets of the deep state. President Trump is not. He's part of the Q team. He's part of the good guys, and they've waited for this moment. And so now they're, you guys, you've always wanted to go after Hamas and Hezbollah. Well, go for it. You always wanted to go and destroy the baddies in Iran. Go for it. We'll back you. We'll send you lots of bombs and missiles and so forth. And let's go. We'll back you up in some of these operations. We'll come in and hammer down. But a lot of people, like you're talking about, are activated to go against him, because they probably knew this moment was coming. They had to have. So they had their people in positions, and now they're being activated. To try,
because this is their last ditch effort to create stir some kind of civil unrest or even a civil war in America.
Yeah. And that could be one of the things that we're looking at. The tempo of their disinformation campaign is reaching such a fever pitch, and you got to pull back a little bit. Let that we're good. We're not gonna hammer down on your puppet over there in Iran. City of London. So what we're going to do is just let the ships go through, and then you get your oil at cheap rates like you were doing before. And the people of Iran, they're just puppets of your deep state puppet. we'll let that go on. We're not going to get involved in that anymore. Okay, we pushed it. It didn't work out for us, so we're going to back away. Yeah, right. So,
what do you think about? What's your thoughts on Cuba, man? Because I mean, I wasn't really thinking about Cuba. You know, Juan's talked about a Cuban Missile Crisis 2.0, and I've always wondered, like, I could understand that coming from China. I could see that coming from Russia, whatever, but not literally Cuba. But what's your thoughts on Cuba? I mean, now they're threatening us with attacks, with drones, whatever, Key West, even Gitmo. And I thought to myself, well, damn, yeah, of course, Cuba would need to be neutralized before we start sending people to Gitmo in mass amounts, like mass arrest, public mass arrest. I'm sure some people are already down there, but the big arrest that will be public, of course, you would have to neutralize Cuba in order to achieve this, right?
Yeah, it's a process. So we're going to take a little focus off of Iran, and put our hand up, put it on his head, and it's going to be like pushing against us, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to like go wham on Cuba and knock it out. So we saw Trump go to talk to Xi in China, and so this is what we're going to do. And it's like, can you talk to Putin when I leave? And so sure enough, Putin comes over. So they've all talked together. They know the plan. So now probably, do you see China and Russia helping Cuba like they have in the past? Cuba's all alone, and they got big boy. They got the big boy about ready to hammer down.
Do you think that means we're going to allow China to take Taiwan?
No.
You don't think we're going to bargain some kind of deal like that?
No, I don't think we'll take this island, you take that one. I don't know, but I don't see that because they have all the chips, the best chips in Taiwan. I don't think we're going to let China get those yet. That's why we had all the top people from the United States go out there. NVIDIA guy, and he was like, yeah, we're going to sell all these chips to you guys, so you don't need to go to Taiwan. So I think that's what that was. We're going to give you all the high-tech stuff you need. You don't need to go to Taiwan. Just leave them alone. So who knows? That's, for me, being in a lot of these meetings and seeing a lot of this stuff over the years, being in the CIA, that's normally how these go down. I've seen a lot of those, which I hadn't, but having seen them, I know the way these things are planned out, bigger picture. And I think that's probably some of the stuff that was happening. I wasn't there, I can't say. So, and better that I wasn't there because, I'd want to talk, and sometimes you let things slip, and it's better you just don't know.
What's really concerning to me are these damn AI data centers that they're building all over the United States, all over the world. And I think that is a digital prison forming right under our noses. But that's, I'm having David Icke on Wednesday, and I know that I think that's the subject I'm going to hit home with him, is about this digital prison that's being developed. Dude, and this is what's scary to me, man. Like, yes, I see us neutralizing Iran. I see us neutralizing Cuba. I see the arrests coming. Of course the arrests are going to come. But what I'm worried about, Mike, is a post-Trump world with AI.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's scary to me. Who's going to be controlling this? Like, this is not good. It's going to take all. Anyway, this is for folks. If you want to tune into this, tune in Wednesday. I'm going to have David Icke on, and we're going to be discussing all about this. But until then, let me just talk about this for a second. Iran says, contrary to what the U.S. claims, the now fully leaked memorandum of understanding contains no Iranian commitments to hand over nuclear supplies, stockpiles, remove equipment, shut down nuclear facilities, or even commit not to build a nuclear bomb. Instead, all nuclear issues are deferred to a 60-day period of negotiations after signing. Per Far's News, for this period to start, the U.S. would need to accept no nuclear commitments from Iran, agree to release $100 billion of Iranian frozen assets, lift the naval blockade, lift all oil and petrochemical sanctions during the negotiation period, pay $270 billion in war reparations, and accept Hormuz under full permanent sovereign Iranian management and authority. There's no way we're going to accept that, Mike.
No.
This is like there's no mutual ground here. It looks to me like we're gonna have to take action.
Yeah, and again, it could be just like we're holding them at bay until we take care of something else. It's like, yeah, well, we're going to look at that. That sounds. We could probably work on some of that. Let's let these ships get out of that strait. How about that? And show good faith and let these ships go. And I think that could be part of it. And who knows? But we're going to see a lot of people hammer down on Trump, and we're going to see who's really the Trump team and who's not. So,
all right. So before we went live, I asked you. I said, where do you see the midterms going? Me personally, I see some kind of delay. Right. I see some kind of some kind of mischief happening around the Democrats. I just don't feel like this is going to go smoothly. And you see Marjorie Taylor Greene coming out saying Trump is going to suspend the 2028 election and blah, 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 blah. And it's going to, I think it's all going to kickstart around midterms. Juan has said that, this could actually stalling the midterms or delaying it could buy Trump even a year in office longer. Your thoughts on this, dude? Do you see midterms kicking off with no problem, or do you see a delay and a postponement of the midterms?
Well, we have the same
psychic, right? We're just theories here, but give me your thoughts.
We have the same patterning that we saw with. I called it out very early.
Yeah, let's be careful on that, though. Let's not even talk about that shit on here.
All right, so you got a couple more that are out there
right.
that they're playing with, and they may bring in. So that would be the thing that would push that. Trump would be, we got this problem, and we're not going to do mail-in ballots.
Right.
That was compromising last time. So I think that could be the thing that could push it if they do the.
But didn't he already sign the executive order for no mail-in ballots? I think he just did.
That doesn't mean. I mean, you look at Colorado, and he said, pardon Tina Peters. Did they do that? No. They can do whatever they want, really, and they will. So the only states that Trump did not take last time, and I'll be careful around this too, is the states that didn't have IDs. You didn't have an ID, and all those states did not go his way. But the ones that did all went his way. So will those states still play that game? Because they can just blow off, federal government. I mean, we saw that, they did that during the Civil War. So
this could get really messy, man.
Yeah. So they can do that, but we have the team basically is probably well aware of what's going down. They're ahead of the ball game. We all thought that at this point we'd be in seeing cities that were at war because all the people they brought across the border would be terrorizing these cities and terrorizing us. That hasn't happened. So that's a good thing.
Well, it hasn't happened because we dismantled the funding, right? The USAID and the ICE raids, they went full blast on those and took down the most violent henchmen, cartels in America right now.
Yeah. And we've had guys on our show that have been telling us this for quite some time, that you take away their funding, which we're doing, Sean Taylor type, and you take away their ability to play these games. And then when they don't have the money, then you can go in and take down their organizations a lot easier. I've been watching some of the videos of where they go in and take down some of these groups, and it's like me. It's like me, my SEAL Team 6 boys, tier 1 guys going in and taking them down. So I think that's been happening. So that was happening before Trump left.
Dude, I saw exactly. Even when Biden was in office, I saw yellow tape around certain apartment buildings, and I saw Army and police there together. I'm like, I've never seen shit like that in my life.
No. Yeah.
And I saw tunnels that were being confiscated and shut down. I was like, what? So I knew Trump was coming in, dude. I knew there was no mistake about it. He's getting in there. We already know it's 45, 46, and 47, right? So we knew that he was running the operation behind the scenes. But, to me, it's like we see this. We're just trying to get the people to get on board with us and understand what's happening here behind the scenes.
Yeah. And, he brought in all the admirals and the generals, and he told them, I'm 45, I'm 46, and I was 46 and I'm 47. And if you got a problem with that, then leave. And so there's probably people left after that and started talking, and they were waiting for that. So some people they have eyes on, and they're being, pushed out, or they're being, they're losing their positions. I'm sure that's happening. Pete Hegseth is probably, obviously he's on board. He's an incredible patriot. So we're at Department of War. We're at war right now. So why do they say Department of War? Because we're at war. We're at war with the deep state all over the world right now.
So, I'm going to get into some what the fuck news right now and read some super chats, Mike. But first, let's read the super chats. And then stick with me on the what the fuck news. You sound good to you?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
All right, let's go into some super chats. Super sticker from Kelly Panetsky. Thank you so much. If you got questions for Mike or myself, go ahead and ask them on here in the super chats. Kelly Ray, 1982. I really feel in my heart that things are finally starting to happen. Praying for justice and praying for you and yours continually. Sobriety is awesome, David. Love you, big. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. Kelly Paneski 576 super sticker. Thank you. She's always there, man. She's always here. She's awesome. Allie Marie Smith super sticker. Thank you. Oh, not much today, but all right, I'll take it. So I've had John Carmen on the show, and he thinks that these crazies that are going to the White House, the dinners, these crazies that are shooting at the Secret Service and getting blasted, that they're testing perimeters, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, and I agree with that. I agree with that. So, folks, and I want to get your perspective on this as well, Mike. So I'm going to read the what the fuck news right now. In what the fuck news, White House shooter was arrested in 2025, believed he was Jesus Christ. That's a special kind of delusional right there. Especially, I never knew Jesus to open fire on anybody. So, all right. So, Nasir Best was allegedly mentally troubled, and he was known to the U.S. security officials for loitering around many entry posts. The gunman who opened fire on the Secret Service checkpoint near the White House earlier today has been identified as Nasir Best, a 21-year-old. God, he had his whole life ahead of him. From Maryland. He was shot by Secret Service agents and died on the way to the hospital. The motive behind the attack is not clear yet, but Best was allegedly mentally troubled, you don't say, and was known to the U.S. security officials for loitering around many entry points and posts. The New York Post reported he violated a previous court order to stay away from the White House. It said on June 26, 2025, Best reportedly obstructed vehicular traffic at 15th Street, following which he was involuntarily admitted to his psychiatric facility for mental health treatment against their wishes. Within 2 weeks, on July 10th, 2025, he was arrested for bypassing a restricted White House pedestrian control post by walking through an exit turnstile lane. When the security agents detained him, Best said that he believed he was the modern-day incarnation of Jesus Christ, the New York Post said. He also reportedly told officials that he wanted to get arrested. Nasir Best pulled a weapon from his bag and fired at a security checkpoint near the White House around 5 a.m. And I think we've seen this. Oh, yeah, there he is. Man, he looks more like the Predator. Oh boy, these people are delusional. The officers fired back, hitting him. A bystander was also shot during the incident, but a law enforcement official said it was not clear whether that person was struck by the suspect's initial bullets or those fired subsequently by officers. So what do you think here, Mike? Are they testing perimeters? Do you think these are being activated? I mean, there's ways to get into the minds of these people and activate them, right? There's chat rooms online. They have agents out there really working on the minds of these people, correct?
Yeah, you look at his eyes; he's not there. So
Right.
he's been, Manchurian Candidate activated for that time. So that time was right as Trump was talking about the peace plan. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, and again, I think he's a handsome guy. He's got his whole life ahead of him. But there's certain people out there, like you're talking about, they find him in chat.
I'll disagree on that one.
Yeah.
Disagree on the looks department, my man. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you look at his eyes and you're like, that's a big turnoff. But everyone has potential. So there's going to be a lot more. So that's probing the perimeter. Just taking shots and seeing how they respond to those shots, letting them know that, hey, we got a lot more. We got a lot more. You probably had eyes on this. Obviously they had eyes on this guy for a while, and then they activated him for that particular time. There's probably a lot more behind the scenes we don't know about of that particular time frame of when he was activated. So yeah, many Manchurian candidates out there, and not everybody can be a Manchurian candidate. You and I, we have very strong. You can't get in our minds and like F with us. But some people are very susceptible, and they look for them, they find them, and then they, work them.
You know what I kind of compare this to is like, have you ever been to I've been to a few comedy shows where they have a hypnotist, and I thought it was complete bullshit, and I couldn't, like, the dude next to me went under, bro, and I was like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, what are you taking your shirt off for? And then he runs up on stage, starts acting like a chicken, humping chairs, and like, I'm like, dude, there's no way. I know for a fact that dude would not be doing that.
No.
I came with the guy, bro. Like, we were all in the same group together, and the guy just went under, and like he was on stage acting like an idiot. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, some people do fall into this. Like, it really does work on some people. Yeah. And all the dude was doing was like, stare at my hand. I'm counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this guy went under. And I'm like, what? Like, I mean, I guess that's how the mainstream media works. That's how MSN works.
Sure.
You just need a handful of these people to tip the boat over.
Yeah, and that's part of their Mockingbird media plan as well. Their mass psychosis out there, spreading disinformation. Trump is Trump derangement syndrome. They got a lot of people under that influence, and they just keep working it. They just pray that some of those people will snap and just go do something stupid like this young man did. So that happens as well. And then, of course, they'll basically take their mass psychosis Trump derangement syndrome groups, and they'll push them into a certain city, and they'll activate them. And that's what I think we're going to see going forward. I don't think that we're going to overcome some of these cities getting taken down.
I agree with you, Mike. Okay. So here's another super chat. Love you, Nino. Keep doing what you're doing. Love you too. Any other ones? You are appreciated. Joy Full Janine.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Way down south. One more. Love you and Jaco. Thank you.
Love you back. Thanks.
Big time 17 ounce. Mike Jaco, do you believe in reincarnation? I do.
Yeah, absolutely. I've written a book about it. So
see, that sounds like a trap to me, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't want to be reincarnated. I don't want to come back to this fucking place.
You want to come back?
I don't free will. I don't agree with it. I don't want to come back here. So doesn't that play?
You don't want to come back and see all the stuff you worked on?
No. I want to go somewhere else. I want to travel the cosmos, wherever the fuck. I don't want to be here again. That's
an option for you. Absolutely.
Okay. Sure, because I don't. I mean, it sounds like a trap to me, like a soul trap. Oh, you built up more karma. You're always going to build karma coming back here.
Well, it's kind of like, Trump. He had the option. He could have gone to dark side, like a lot of them do, but he chose to go with the light, and that's why we're fortunate that a guy of his caliber, made it to that position. And so that's, we all have those options. You're going to get stuck in a loop and do stupid over and over again, or you're going to like break free and do good. So that's kind of what reincarnation does. It teaches you to, break free from, the craziness
It just seems like such a trap to me, dude.
Shot up the White House. He didn't break free. So
no, he'll be come back now as like a cockroach in the bathroom of the White House or something.
Very possible.
All right, Mike. I appreciate you coming on. Stay with me just a moment, Mike, because this is StreamYard and we have to the back end has to do some stuff. So, folks, that's it. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I'm going to be on Nino'sCorner.tv with some great guests coming up. You remember, Wednesday is Ringside with Nino, and then